September is coming to a close somehow. I don't know how we are possibly this far into the year, but whatever. Here we are. September was an amazing month for games.
Yeah.
Like, really, really good. It was the first month of the year where I was like, oh, like, multiple incredible games are coming out, and it's not just the month where it's like, oh, well, Bloodborne came out and nothing else. Now I'm like, my time is starting to get divided. So, what was everyone's favorite PC game of September 2015?
I mean, I think it's kind of hands down for Metal Gear. Like, that game, I haven't had as much time as I would like to play it. I'm probably 10 to 12 hours in. But yeah, that is a damn impressive game, even if the story makes no goddamn sense.
No, totally agree.
Yeah, it's like that. Just I love a good systems-based game where you can just mess with it in a bunch of interesting ways. I think playing around with that game is much more fun than actually playing the game in a lot of ways. Just seeing what happens. What if I put explosids here?
Sounds
How's
like
the AI gonna
Crisis
handle?
to me.
It does. It's like Crisis. It's like more like
Far
Hitman.
Cry.
Yeah.
It's Hitman is the one that stuck out to me too.
It is military Hitman in a lot of ways.
Built around like a lot of Far Cry's best bits
Yeah.
in terms of like infiltration and how you can do things and how you can use the environment or your gadgets to your advantage. Big fan. It makes me want to replay every mission.
My answer would probably be Metal Gear Solid 5, but I've spent the whole month playing Metal Gear Solid 1 through 4.
Yes.
Catching up. So
None of those are on PC.
Nope.
Well, Metal Gear Solid
one
is, but
has a weird
it's
PC
real hard
version,
to find, and it's
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and I are on the same page. I really love Metal Gear. Like, that is my franchise. I did not expect you to enjoy it at all. Not out of, like, I don't know. It just did not strike me as a Dan game, which is why when you started playing it, I was like, I am you immediately. Like, oh my God, what do you think? I need to know your thoughts right now.
Well, I mean, when you IM'd me, I was in the middle of the intro.
Yeah,
I'm
which
like,
you were not pleased with at all. And I was like, oh my God, I promise that's not the game.
Yep. It's like this don't make no sense.
Yeah,
there
there's
needs to be a
literally no
video
point to that.
of like Dan tries to understand Metal Gear Solid 5 story.
Oh my God.
It's like I like when they say what's actually happening. It's like, okay, I get it. It's not interesting, but I get it.
Yeah. Did you finish the main story?
I mean, I'm like 10 or 12 hours in.
Oh, okay. So you're still pretty early.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because when they eventually get to what the story is, I'm like, oh, that's really cool, but done really poorly.
How about you, Miranda? What have you been all up in this month?
So I want to play Metal Gear eventually, even though I haven't played the other ones, and I'm not even going to try because I don't care. But I'll just try to understand Metal Gear 5, maybe. But my favorite is, as I've said already, Know the Devil. It's super smart. It's really well written. It's written by AVB. It was short. It was super, like, touching story too. Just kind of reliving, like, being awkward at summer camp and not really fitting in, and kind of forcing yourself
just
to be
satanic
different.
ritual
And
things.
finding Satan.
Yeah, and
at
also
a Bible
Satan
camp.
and weird radios and
Yeah. No, it's
just
kids.
just the premise, as Mitch was
Yeah.
saying, is awesome.
yeah.
yeah.
Big fan.
So
Yeah.
absolutely check it out.
How long is it?
Like I said, I think my first run, since I am kind of slow with games, it took me like 2 hours, and then every one after that, maybe like 20,
Maybe I'll make
30
this like a
minutes.
commute game or something.
Yeah, and then there is a true ending, so that's
no,
a big
see,
thing.
that's the thing. Like, I can never get behind true endings. I don't.
I think they are fantastic.
I don't. They're great.
Yeah.
I love watching them on YouTube. I hate spending my entire life
So
trying
it
to
doesn't-
unlock them.
but
No,
the
they're
thing
great
with-
because Samuel L. Jackson shows up and recruits them into the
yeah,
Avengers.
yeah,
The thing with like visual novels, though, it's not usually as hard to obtain. I think.
Yeah, you just have to do a certain thing.
Like, just do what makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, at least for this one, it's a little maybe I actually have to think about it for a second. But I actually asked somebody else how to get it. I was like, hey, I just want to know. Kind of like you, but also I thought I was on the right path, but I think I was thinking too hard about it. Wiki self things.
Interesting.
Wait, Brian, which one was yours
Do it.
again?
It's weird. I haven't played a new PC game this month. I'm going to have to go with 80 Days. If it's the mobile game on Steam, then yes.
Yeah, except it's impossibly prettier because they just made the art work for PC screens.
Well, sure. Yeah, I
Game
mean,
is
it's
so
a weird sort of like
amazing.
adaptation of the Jules Verne?
Yep.
Jules Verne novel. You try to get around the world in 80 days.
Yeah.
And sometimes you fail pretty hard.
real hard.
It's really hard.
But hard in a way that is satisfying. Like, you really start to feel the pressure of, like, man, we're on day 60 and I'm low on money and this guy does not like me. And I really don't know how we're going to get to San Francisco in time, to get back to London in time.
No, I played it, or I played some of it on iPhone. It does seem pretty luck-based, or is it not as luck-based?
No,
as I think it is?
it's luck-based in as much as if you make the right choice, you are lucky and might get bonus money or whatever.
But whether I get that money or not is based on chance. Because I restarted
don't
a couple
think
times. I felt
so.
like I made the same choice and got different.
Man, I never got that
responses.
impression. Like I was so convinced that it was like I made a choice, so X thing happened, and that's how it would always be.
Yeah, I could be wrong. Maybe I just
Yeah.
did something slightly different. But
That would be annoying, but I don't believe that's the case.
yeah, because I got that impression, and that's kind of what made me stop. Because I'm like, well, it seems like if I make it to the end is entirely random.
No, there's definitely like you do have to strategize a bit, and that's the thing I love about it is like I'm gonna go out tonight. Like I could stay in, I could rest, I'd feel better tomorrow, but I'm gonna go out and see what happens. And you might go out and like stumble on some money because that's what the game decides to happen, or it might be this amazing 10-minute long story vignette that is specific to that city, to that night. So with like because those things are so specific, I have to think that if you go out and like something minor happens or something that seems luck based, that must just be what happens if you do it.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. I'm just waiting on you to say more. This was your pick.
Oh,
Regale me more.
I'm starting to find that I really like those kinds of games. And when I say those kind, now that I was thinking of Steve Jackson's Sorcery as well, and it's like, oh, I guess I like these weird games where you have to like travel along a path that have someone's name in the title. Right?
Man,
Go ahead.
I couldn't get behind Sorcery.
No?
I didn't like it at all.
Really?
I thought
the first one?
Yep. It's done by the same people who did 80 Days. If you don't know that, I thought Sorcery was just really boring. I felt like the choices I made were like, all right, I guess I went left. I guess I bumped into some people who had some words to say, which maybe is being reductive and maybe how some people might see 80 Days, but I just did not click with Sorcery at all.
Interesting. I find them to be largely the same. But
Totally fair.
yeah, it's great. Like I haven't been around the world, but like a lot of the like things they tell you about the cities and the people you meet, I'm just like convinced that this could be a thing.
That's probably what Berlin's like.
Yeah, probably, right? I probably
there.
can't go to Berlin anytime soon.
They probably got some sweet skyships.
Yeah, they've got a bunch of robots and everything.
Cool
Yeah.
robot man
Yep.
picking up rocks and stuff.
But the robots are rigged to cheat their emissions tests, though. So
War robot.